everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Business Unboxed with your host Kelly, co-host Corey, and we have a special guest on today, which is our younger sister Jessica, which we have mentioned a couple of times now.
Jub, we call her Jub.
Yes, so you will be hearing us refer to her as Jub or Jubby during this episode. Very rarely do we actually use her actual full name, Jessica, because it actually kind of sounds weird to say.
Yeah.
Right, so this episode's going to be about what? Corey, take it away.
Career paths we almost took. So,
Right.
What did you guys want to be as kids?
Who should start?
God, I wanted to be all sorts of different things when I was a kid.
I can't remember what you wanted to be.
Me either.
I went through a stage of wanting to become a wrestler.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
I
okay.
went through a stage of wanting to become a hairdresser.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
Yep.
And for a long time, I wanted to own my own bakery and be a baker, which I still am interested in. But
And for context, can you please let the listeners know what you're currently doing as a job?
I'm a duty manager at a Foursquare at a supermarket.
2IC.
Yeah, pretty much 2IC. I pretty much overlook majority of the store.
Awesome. Right. So Jub kind of went all over the place with what she wanted to do growing up. And then she's also had jobs in a number of different fields as well. Correct?
You never really had one thing like Kelly and I did, though, did you?
No.
Like, we had the one thing we were interested in. You can't make your mind up.
Well, no, when I got to kind of teenage years, I was very interested in the whole bakery, cafe side of things. But I like using my brain, and I like constantly learning. So when I was at the cafe, well, it was a cafe/pizza shop. When I was there for about 5.5 years, and by that stage I was pretty like 2IC there, and I wasn't really learning anything or going any further. Even though I loved my job, that's when I decided to change my job, because I just need to continuously learn and do new things and use my mind, because if I'm doing the same things all the time, I just find it very boring and I get very complacent. I don't enjoy my job as much, because I like to be learning and absorbing new things. And that's possibly why part of the reason, plus I've been made redundant and what have you, and other different things, but that's part of the reason I've probably tried different things, is to continuously learn and grow my brain and absorb more experiences and learn more stuff.
True.
What about you, Kelly?
Well, I would say I was mainly tossing up between two things growing up. I loved animals. So a career with animals or a career in business was going to be one of my kind of two things. So when I first started looking at unis and courses, I'd done like a couple of, I was doing accounting at high school, so I was kind of interested in that. I wasn't very good at it at high school, by the way. So like I pretty much failed most of my accounting exams. I was doing it by correspondence, so I didn't actually have any classmates. I had like one video call a week with people that are around all of New Zealand schools that were also doing correspondence accounting, and I was the only one in my entire high school doing accounting. But I did enjoy it, and normally for me, I don't enjoy things that I'm not good at, but yet for some reason I kept going back every year of NCEA.
No one enjoys things they're not good at.
Yeah. And I was also doing like a career subject at school, and so part of that is I did a marketing course, which I also was not the best at, but I did it. And then I did a couple of like animal papers, like studying like cats and dogs. And so when I started looking at leaving school and what study I wanted to do, I briefly looked at and was interested in being a zoologist and studying zoology at the University of Otago, which was briefly looked at and then kind of passed over. And then when I decided on study, I did do a certificate in animal care in my first year and also a certificate in business and management that was all in 1 year, so 6 months for each certificate. And I kind of used that, I guess, to help me determine what path I wanted to go down. Was it animal path or that business accounting kind of path? And it was in that certificate of business and management that I kind of fell in love with accounting even more and was actually good at it. And so that's why I kind of took that career path. So I've kind of only had those two main ones. And then ever since I was like 18, 19, I kind of stuck with the whole accounting business thing. Corey, I feel like growing up, you didn't even really talk about you. I feel like it was always designery stuff. Like, I think you were like wanted to be an architect at some point, and then it was like all designery stuff from there.
Yeah, it was. It was like kind of an architect leaning towards architecture type.
Yeah. When I was maybe before I got to senior year, I remember doing that Corey's graphics thing.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
I did like a balance sheet, a P&L statement or something with Corey's graphics. So I think I remember doing an art as well. I made like a logo with CC because I thought that would be my like company logo. But then yeah, I went down the maybe in year 11, I went down the architect career path.
Is it when you like a first originally kind of like when you went down the architecture path? Is that when you first kind of went? You quite enjoyed like the designing, like you realized you quite like designing and creating things?
No, I don't know. I don't know how it happened. I don't know how I got into architecture. I think I just thought I would like it, and then I went to do a thing in town with Mason and Wales Architects. I had like 2 days or a day with them or something.
I remember that.
And then I remember the guy telling me, so you had to move. I think I don't know when this happened. Maybe I was in year 10. I think at the time I had a vision of moving to Dunedin, maybe. And so at the time he said, oh no, you had to move to either Wellington or Auckland, I think, to do it. There wasn't anything in Christchurch. I think that was the problem. And I was just like, no, that's a bit too far for me to move away. He also said only like, I don't know what he said, like 30% of the people or something, even less than that, only like get through to the second year. So there's a heaps of people that cull off after the first year. So then I was just like, nah, I don't know, I don't really want to do that anymore. And then I was obviously good at art and computers and like kind of virtually top of my class in different areas. And then enjoyed doing some of the computer design projects that we had to do for NZCA. And then so my computer teacher suggested it. Shout out to Mr. Cambridge. And yeah, then I just kind of had this information. I could go and do some stuff with NatCol at the time it was called. And then it kind of just spiraled from there. I could go and do a course in Christchurch. It was in the South Island, not too far from home. Yeah. Also wanted to be a chef for a very smidgen amount of time.
I cannot imagine you doing that.
I know.
He'd be like the Gordon Ramsay of chefs.
Oh, I would be.
Yeah, I bet.
Okay, the weirdest jobs that we ever considered. I wouldn't say any of mine are weird. I mean, chef might be. That's a weird job, but.
Does considering doing OnlyFans to make myself some more money count?
I was just about to say Kelly would consider like selling feet pics on OnlyFans or something.
But like, not seriously consider it, but like, everyone's thought about doing something quirky like that just to earn some extra cash.
Mm-hmm.
But not seriously.
Proper jobs I've applied, considered like applying for. There's nothing been too weird or crazy. I mean, recently there was what is it? Kind of like office management-ish type of job, organising and doing things for like a forestry company. I thought that would be quite interesting, and I love the outdoors, so it was kind of up my alley. But there's nothing like I've had some interesting jobs like cafe worker, baker. Left the bakery because I was getting allergic reactions.
Sawmill.
Milburn processing mill.
You were a mower.
I was grading wood and stuff there. Then I went to Downers because we got made redundant. So I went to Downers and became a mower, which, funnily enough, actually, that's probably a weird job. I actually applied for Downers to pick up rubbish on the state highways because it was not bad money. And then when I went in for the interview, they actually recommended me and thought that I'd be good for the mowing and weed eating job.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so the mowing and weed eating job, they actually recommended me for. They thought I'd be better at. They just by reading and looking at my CV and what I enjoy doing, being outdoors and hunting and what have you, they thought, oh no, you're more suited to being out mowing lawns and weed eating and stuff. But at the time, they said, oh, it's about 70% mowing and 30% weed eating, but there was a lot of weed eating on like real steep ground and real pain. But then after that, I worked at Super Value for a while.
Oh yeah.
I applied for Super Value and Foursquare at the same time. Super Value hired me just on kind of a casual, so I was only working kind of 25, 30 hours a week, which wasn't enough. Then where I am now at Foursquare, he rang me up and said I can do you like a forklift license, get your managers, and they had a lot more things for me to, as I said earlier, I like using my brain. They had a lot more opportunity for me and sounded like they had a lot of more opportunity for me to grow and do more stuff. So I was there, and then Super Value rang me up about 3 different times after I left, wanting me to go back, wanting me to be a produce manager there. Because they obviously really liked my work and they realised that they'd really stuffed up by not giving me more hours and, you know, giving me more opportunity. And he was damn near begging me on the phone to go back, and that's when I got Mum the job as a produce manager at Super Value.
Well done.
Yeah, so Job's probably had the weirdest string of jobs going between different industries.
And then hopefully at the end of this year, me and my partner will have our own business, but yeah.
Yes.
It's interesting. And it's a whole different other ball game that I haven't gone into. So it's just different little strings and avenues that I've been going down. But it's good doing stuff like that, I feel like, because you get to meet new people doing every different job and you get to go try different things. And for someone like me, I love trying and knowing a little bit of everything, you know, like a person of, what's it called? What's that saying? It's like master... something jack of all trades but master of none. Like I'm a little bit like that. Like I'm a little bit good at any little thing, but I've never actually like. Oh, and I also did an online business course. I did 3/4 of an online business course and put that on hold.
3/4
on a business diploma. Ended up putting that on hold.
Can you finish it now?
No,
it would have been too late.
I rang up. Just when me and Connor first started going out, I rang up to go and see if I could finish it, and they were like, "Oh, nah, this year the criteria's the papers are all changed, so you can't just jump in. You'd have to start from scratch." And I was like, "Well, I'm not going to do that." So I didn't get to finish it, but I mean, I still learnt that 3/4 of a diploma, so it's not fully wasted.
No, you still learn stuff.
Yeah.
What else have we got here? What would we do if we weren't in our current careers? I would love to be a lawyer.
Yeah, you would.
Although I did want to be a lawyer. I think I still would love to be a lawyer. But then I also just like business. Like just e-commerce business owner would also be perfect for me.
Yeah.
Running products, selling products. Yeah.
I don't really know what me and Connor are moving into, hopefully. That excites me because it's something new and it's our own thing and we can do it how we want it to be done. and I do enjoy the whole business thing, and I do really well under pressure. That's probably why I've kind of gotten to where I am in most of my jobs. I've kind of worked my way up in most of the jobs I've had. But I don't have anything in particular. Like, I've always wanted to run my own business, but I've never known really what that business entails, if you know what I mean. At some stage, I would still love to have maybe not a bakery as such, but some sort of baking or cooking or something. But I just don't quite know what that is as of yet.
Sauces.
Well, if we do what me and Connor are planning on doing, we're thinking maybe like homemade pies.
Oh yeah.
With the meat people, because obviously we'll be dealing a lot in meat. So like with meat, they can do homemade pies, and then I could possibly make like chutneys and sauces and jams, maybe. I don't know. That won't be for quite a while yet, but that's definitely an idea.
We could do. Oh, that's a whole other conversation.
As for me, can I own my own software company?
You choose whatever you want to do.
I would want to own my own software company. Because it's kind of my dream anyway, is that I have a business that designs software or has software that like other people can subscribe to, or we design custom software for businesses to help them solve their solutions when they can't find an already on market product. That is kind of my dream. So obviously if I wasn't doing the accounting side of things, I'd love to be my own software company.
Okay. And if we were to swap jobs with each other, who would be best at what?
Controversial. Who should we start with? Job.
I reckon I could do both your jobs.
Yeah, I think you could too, to be fair.
I mean, I don't know numbers as well as you do, but the process of figuring it out to solve it I could do. And I've worked in supermarkets before, so...
I think I could...
Easy.
I could do Kelly's job with a bit of learning, because I do enjoy numbers.
But a lot of my job now doesn't involve actually calculating numbers. A lot of my job now involves problem solving other people's problems and coming up with stuff in my brain.
Yeah, but I do that at my job at the moment, but to obviously a complete different spectrum. But I have to do that continuously at my job. Obviously, like I said, on a whole different view. I don't know all about... Sorry, swearing. I don't know bugger all about graphic designing.
Yeah, I don't think either of us could design. I mean, I could probably help manage the business, but I could not actually do the designing.
I could try doing designing on a pen and paper, but not on a computer, because I'm just not that. Yeah. Right, what's the next question? Next bullet.
That's it.
Oh. Nice and quick and easy.
Unless you have any other questions? Or...
let me think for a minute. I'm sure I can come up with something. I don't know.
Have you got a timeline for your business job?
Not really currently. We're going to start off with... We've got a starting point, and we're just going to start from that and just see, hopefully work our way.
So you got a date that you want to start it?
No, we do not have a date, because we need to sort out Australia and getting some finances and stuff sorted first, and then we'll go from there.
Right.
But yeah, it should be interesting.
Well, I guess we should probably wrap this episode up then, because Jub's just started the yawn train again, and if you've been watching us a couple of times, you know that if Corey starts to yawn or if I start to yawn, it gets passed along. So we could be in an everlasting yawn freaking thing here if we continue. And it is getting a wee bit late, and it's absolutely teeming down outside in Christchurch. So I want to go and snuggle up in bed. Because I
For those
like
that are listening,
listening.
it's literally 8:30 p.m.
Yeah, that's late for me.
Like
Not late.
half an hour past Kelly's bedtime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my sleep alarm thingy for like telling me it's my bedtime went off like 45 minutes ago.
Oh my god, you're so
Oh
dramatic.
no.
Yeah, but I have to get up early, and
I
I
have
like
So
my
do
sleep.
I.
Yeah, well, I
I
like
have to
my
get up
sleep.
early and
I'm a
stay
big
up till 11
sleeper.
o'clock.
Yeah, well, that's business owner problems. Anywho, thanks for joining us. Let us know if you liked this episode, if you want Jub to come back on and hear her thoughts on other topics, or if you want to hear her business journey, we might get her on a wee bit more. Anything else that either of you two want to
Thanks for having
say?
me. I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
Nope.
Oh, good. All right. Well, we'll wrap that one up there. We hope you've enjoyed this kind of nice casual sibling chat about our careers, and maybe you found a wee bit of inspiration or something's ticked in from our conversations. And we'll catch you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.